Here with senior Katie Rich. She was a second team all GPAC performer last year on a team that went 34-3, and we're previewing the 2012-13 season. First, talk about last season and what it was like and how exciting that was. Won the GPAC regular season and tournament, and then moved on to the semifinals at the national tournament.
Yes, last year was very exciting for all of us, but we do keep in mind that that was last year's team, and this year we have a new team with around the same goals, but last year was very exciting. We took it one game at a time. We had goals. We won CIT, we won regular season, we won GPAC tournament, and then one goal was just to get to the national tournament. And after we made that goal, then it was again one game at a time. And it was just so thrilling. Like you said, the atmosphere was unbelievable, especially when you get as many conference teams there that we did. And they were close by, so there was a lot of people there. And it was great to make it to the Final Four, but that's still in the back of our heads this year then, that we know that we're capable of doing that, and we're really pushing to exceed further at the tournament.
What does the team think of how the students started responding as the season went around? They started doing that interlude dance, and I saw one video where they're actually out on the floor almost obstructing the other team. What did the team think?
Well, it was kind of funny. Last year we played UNO, which was a huge game for us, and we went in with a mindset just to do our best. You know, we didn't really know how we would compare. We practiced really hard for them, and coach just afterwards, he's like, well, we'll go back and we'll have this little pep rally. And we're like, okay. So we won against UNO, actually, and we were all excited. And when we came back, like, the one side of the bleachers was just packed of students, and they were all cheering for us when we came in, which was awesome. And then coach had a really awesome speech and did some fun things to get our crowd involved, and then we actually taught them the dance. And it was so funny because we're like, well, either it's kind of silly, so we're like, either they're going to do it or they're just going to kind of do whatever with it and not think about it. But then at halftime of our next game, it might have been like a whiteout or something, and everyone was doing it when we started warming up, which our crowd was kind of overtaking, like you said, the other team's warm-up area, which we thought was really funny. But just the support that we have from our fans, especially, obviously our record at that time was probably around 18-2 or somewhere, and to have that support from our fans and know that they're behind us too and cheering for us and is so motivating for us to do better, and that really got us pumped up for the second half of every game.
Last year's team just had 3 seniors on it, so a lot of that team is back, so expectations are naturally going to be pretty high. How do you think the team will be able to handle those expectations?
I think every year we set our expectations pretty high of where we want to be in the end and kind of what we expect of each other. And so just right away at the beginning of the season, knowing, you know, we have these standards set and we're going to go out and work our hardest to achieve them. And I think we've worked really hard in preseason so far, and now that the season is officially started, then we know what we need to do to get where we want to be.
Do you and your teammates talk about getting back to where you were last year, or do you just kind of put that out of your minds this early?
Well, we talk about it a little bit just for the experience, and one reason I think is just so the younger girls that get to travel and be on varsity do have that experience and can have those memories, because it is such a fun time to get there. And like we said, we made it all the way to the Final Four, and that was a pretty big achievement, and so that is always going to be in the back of our heads in that experience. So we keep in mind that we want to be there again.
Now that you're a senior with a lot of experience here, have you taken it upon yourself to become a leader and to be a vocal person out there on the court?
Yeah, I want to be, and that's the thing I strive to be for the girls, is that vocal leader on the court, not only on the court but off the court also. I want them to feel comfortable with me and make sure to let them know that I want to be a leader on the court. And just make sure that the girls know that I'm here for them, not only on the court but off the court, but also just taking on that responsibility of I want to be, and I really look like to the girls also, like just having small talk, how class is going and stuff is really important to build that time with them and set up a good, strong base for the team.
Talk about the chemistry of the team. Anyone who's seen the Facebook page for women's basketball has seen some of the goofy challenges that you have had. It seems like the team has a lot of fun together. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it is. Those videos are so funny, but especially just experiencing them with the girls. We're all so competitive on the court, which you'll see, but off the court, just those little games, we get so into winning, and it's so nice to see that we have that competitive drive, even if it's not on the basketball court. But it's so fun because that brings us together, and it takes 2 minutes before practice that coach sets up for us, and it's a great building experience and just chemistry building to get to know the girls and see them in action off the court.
You and Kristen Conahan are really the headlining returners statistically. What makes Kristen such an effective player, and how easy does it make things for you on the court?
Yeah, Kristen Conahan is a great player and a really awesome teammate. I like to call her Connie, just that's what I'm used to, and it's so fun to get to play with her. And she has become a really great player, I think, because she knows her role and she knows what she needs to do for our team. And I think she's put in so much time off the court to make herself better, which really helps the team. And she knows, like, she has that competitive drive. She has that competitive drive not to lose. And she knows when she steps on that court, she knows what she needs to do to get it done so we can win. And just to be on the same team with her, and once, like, if we're in the same rotation, it does make it fun, because just to play with her and experience it, and she is a really good teammate.
Who are some teammates who you expect to step up and contribute more? With you lose a couple key players like Amber Kistler, so you have a gap there for someone to step in.
Mm-hmm. We are looking for someone to step in and kind of fill that leadership role and the role of scoring those points on the court. But I feel like last year we did a good job of, we never know who's going to have a good game. I feel like last year Bailey Morris stepped up big when we needed her to. Tracy Pite stepped up big. Beth Comacher hit some big shots for us at the end of games, and Lori Laboda gets some big rebounds for us. So I feel like it's awesome that we can go 8 to 10 deep strong, because we have those girls that you never know who is going to be a step up and make a big shot. And I feel like that's awesome because we're such a big threat for other teams, because you know what, they might be playing one player hard like Amber last year, but anyone else can really make the same plays she did. So it's really great that we can do that with each other.
Do you talk about goals before the season? Does anyone ever throw around the word national title?
Well, we set the main goals that we want to do, CIT championship, win GPAC regular season, those type of goals. And we do talk about getting to the national tournament, and I think it's always in the back of our heads. You know we want to win the national championship, and what are we going to do, though, I think is the main question of to achieve that. We know we can make it to the Final Four. We did that last year, but what can we do this year? And I think that we've been working really hard, and we have that in the back of our minds, and it's kind of like a chip on our shoulder. Like, we know we can push ourselves almost to the next level, and Coach talks a lot about the it factor and what is inside of you that will push you to the next level, to compete to the next level, to become that great player to a national championship. And I think most importantly, goals that we have is playing for God. I like to call our Concordia basketball team a family, and we're really strong connection with each other, and we know that God has given us those talents to be the players we are today, and that we all play for the glory of Him.